Welcome to Inside the Investigation. In this episode, I will talk about coercive interrogation techniques. I would ask that you support our podcast series by clicking subscribe. To understand every part of the investigation process, coercive interrogation, as well as flawed witness and victim interviews by law enforcement, check out all the episodes on this podcast. If you have questions about a case, please feel free to call our expert Brian Leslie at the number on the screen, or go to our website also on the screen. Just be aware we cannot provide legal advice as we are an expert service. Interrogation techniques are designed to extract confessions, especially when law enforcement believes they have established a suspect's guilt. These methods often blur ethical lines, and when employed extensively, they can lead to unreliable confessions. One such technique is minimization, where the interviewer downplays the suspect's involvement or suggests less culpable motives. By treating a suspect as a witness or implying that admitting to certain details will be beneficial, officers make it more likely for the individual to confess. In contrast, maximization involves overstating the strength of the case against the suspect. This includes interrupting denials, accusing the suspect of lying, and using false evidence to convince the suspect of the interrogator's certainty of their guilt. The narrative trap technique involves asking questions in a way that the suspect might not fully understand, leading them to provide answers that later appear incriminating. Word integration is another strategy where interviewers use more dramatic terms that fit the narrative they are pushing. For example, changing hit to whacked or gun to weapon to align with a specific narrative. Narrative integration and narrative compliance further this by feeding specific words or ideas to the suspect through suggestive questioning, coercively aligning the suspect's story with the investigator's theory of the crime. The more these techniques are used, the more a suspect might concede to the suggested narrative, a phenomenon known as confession compliance. A particularly coercive method is the blackout confession, which targets individuals who are alcoholics or drug users. By suggesting they committed the crime during a blackout, interviewers exploit these vulnerabilities to extract confessions. The longer an interrogation lasts and the more these techniques are combined, the likelihood of obtaining an unreliable confession increases. This systematic approach to interrogation reveals the dark underbelly of law enforcement tactics, showing how the pressure to close cases can lead to ethical compromises and questionable outcomes. We would also ask you to share this podcast episode with others. If you have questions about a case, please feel free to call our expert Brian Leslie at the number on the screen.